Our world is a tapestry of grand landscapes and quiet hidden corners. Beyond the famous landmarks, there exists a secret world known only to a few. This is a journey into the Commonwealth of Massachusetts, a land of rich history and beauty. We invite you to step away from the familiar, leaving behind the bustling cityscapes. Embark on an exploration that follows the faint trails left by generations of locals. These are the keepers of the secrets, the guardians of hidden forests and quiet traditions. Prepare to see a familiar place with new eyes, to discover the soul of Massachusetts. Our journey begins with a promise to reveal the heart of this remarkable state. Let us venture forth and discover the Massachusetts that only the locals truly know. A world of profound and quiet wonder that has been here all along, patiently waiting. It begins as a mere trickle, high in the northern wilderness. The Connecticut River carves a path through Massachusetts. Its true essence is found in the secrets it holds along its banks. Here lie networks of trails known only to those who have walked them for generations. They are desire lines, worn smooth by the quiet passage of fishermen seeking solitude. To walk here is to enter a different rhythm, one dictated by the gentle flow of the water, a symphony of the unseen that speaks to the river's enduring vitality. It creates secluded coves and hidden sandbars, offering a haven of profound peace to the few who find their way to its secluded embrace. It is a constant presence in the lives of the communities that have grown along its shores. They are corridors of quiet contemplation. For the dedicated angler, the Connecticut River's greatest rewards are reserved for those who know its most guarded secrets. Away from the crowds, there exist clandestine spots, whispered about in hushed tones. These are the secret fishing holes, where the river's topography creates the perfect habitat. Reaching them often requires a trek, a small pilgrimage that weeds out all but the most determined. Here the river bends, carving out deep, slow-moving pools. The knowledge of these locations is a treasure earned through years of patient observation. The act of fishing becomes a form of meditation, a quiet, focused pursuit. Time slows down, measured in the patient rhythm of casting and retrieving. This relationship is one of profound respect, a symbiotic bond built on understanding. It is a quiet stewardship, ensuring the river's secrets remain intact. The importance of the Connecticut River extends far beyond its recreational offerings. It is the foundational element upon which entire communities have been built. For centuries, its waters have been a source of sustenance, a means of transport, a wellspring of inspiration. In the small towns that dot its banks, the river is not just a backdrop. It is a central character in the local story. Its presence shows in the layout of the streets, in the architecture of the old mills, and in the daily rhythms of life. It is the silent, constant witness to local history. Its waters have nourished fertile floodplains, creating some of the richest agricultural land in New England. The farms tucked away in the river valley, often invisible from main roads, owe their existence to silt and nutrients the river deposits. These family farms, many worked for generations, are tied to the river's cycles of flood and drought. Their survival depends on a deep, almost instinctual understanding of the river's power and patterns, a relationship of respect and reliance that has sustained them. More than a physical resource, the river has fostered a unique cultural identity. It has inspired artists, poets, and thinkers. Local festivals and traditions, small gatherings, are where the river's stories are told and retold, passing that connection to the next generation. Today, This relationship is one of careful balance. The communities that depend on the river are also its most passionate protectors. They are the guardians of its health, restoring habitat and keeping waters clean. This stewardship is quiet but powerful, a living legacy, a promise that this lifeline will continue to nurture Massachusetts. Nestled just south of Boston lies Squantum, a coastal neighborhood with an air of quiet seclusion. Its story is woven deep into American history. This land was once the summer home of the Massachusetts tribe. The first encounter between the Pilgrims and native peoples occurred here, with Squanto acting as an intermediary. Over the centuries, Squantum transformed into a bustling resort for Boston's elite. Today, it's a tight-knit residential community that fiercely guards its tranquility. The peninsula's unique geography has fostered a sense of isolation and identity. Squantum is a bastion, preserving its unique character. The true treasures of Squantum are its beaches, but you will not find them in any tourist brochure. Not vast summer beaches, but intimate, secluded pockets of coastline, cherished by residents. To find them, you navigate a labyrinth of small residential streets, each turn revealing a glimpse of the sea, until a small, unmarked path appears between two houses, leading down to a hidden shore. These are the neighborhood's private sanctuaries. One such place is Nickerson Beach, a gentle crescent of sand and pebbles with an unobstructed view of the Boston skyline. From this tranquil vantage, the distant city is a silent, shimmering mirage across the water, its frantic energy unable to breach the cove's solitude. Here, the only sounds are the rhythmic shushing of waves on the shore, the cry of a gull overhead, the gentle clinking of shells and stones tumbled by the tide. It is a place for quiet reflection, a front row seat to the daily drama of tides and sky. Another secret is Orchard Beach, tucked on the peninsula's southern shore. A small sheltered beach, a haven for families. Children explore tide pools teeming with tiny crabs. Periwinkles cling to the rocks. The water is calm, protected by the curve of the land. The beach is soft sand and smooth sea-worn stones, perfect for skipping stones across the placid bay. It feels like a shared backyard for the community. These hidden beaches are the soul of Squantum. They are where the community gathers, a solitary morning walk, an evening picnic, sitting to watch the moon rise over the water. Access is a privilege of residency, an unspoken agreement to cherish and protect these fragile coasts. A reminder that the greatest luxuries are often small, simple gifts of peace and natural beauty, held in trust by a community that understands their irreplaceable value. Life in Squantum is shaped by the sea. The peninsula is a constant negotiation between land and water, defining the daily experience of its residents. This shared experience has forged a unique community. When storms cut off the causeway, the community depends on itself. This fosters neighborliness, working together to weather challenges. Residents become amateur naturalists, marking seasons by the arrival and departure of migratory species. Squantum is a testament to place, molded by historical and geographical circumstances. It's a community inextricably linked to the land and sea. Beyond the crowded shores of Cape Cod, there exists a quieter world. These are the hidden coves, tucked away like jewels, known only to locals and discerning travelers. Here the Atlantic whispers ancient tales to the sand, accessible by winding paths through bayberry and beach plum, a realm dictated by the tide's gentle pulse. Find these sanctuaries by venturing down narrow lanes. The muffled sound of waves are the only invitations. The air is thick with salt and wild roses. The water, placid as a lake, reflects the sky, a place for quiet contemplation. This is the Cape as it once was, a delicate ecosystem thriving, a testament to nature's power to create tranquility, a world that rewards patience and respect. Away from the bustling Cape lie villages that seem suspended in time. These are communities that have retained their essential character, their souls untroubled by the seasonal influx. Their streets are lined with historic sea captains' homes, their weathered shingles a testament to centuries of endurance. Blossoms mingle with the scent of the salt marsh. The morning fog blankets the village in a soft ethereal light, the quiet hum of a lobster boat heading out for the day. These are the sounds that punctuate the stillness. The salt box houses and classic capes were designed for resilience. To walk these streets is to walk through a living museum. It is in these hamlets that one can find the true spirit of Cape Cod. The true character of Cape Cod reveals itself in the more introspective light of the off-season. The beaches, vast empty canvases sculpted by the wind and waves, are returned to their natural state. This is the time for the true pilgrim, the seeker of solitude. The landscape presents a more stark and powerful visage. The autumn months bring a spectacular transformation. The cranberry bogs blaze with a crimson fire. Winter on the Cape is a study in monochrome. Snowfall transforms the familiar landscape into a place of silent, ethereal beauty. And then comes the spring, a slow, tentative awakening. It is to witness the unceasing cycle of nature in one of its most dramatic and beautiful theatres. Beyond Harvard Yard, hidden courtyards offer calm and community at Harvard. To step inside is to leave the bustle behind. Ancient trees offer shade. To glimpse one is to understand a deeper dimension of the Harvard experience. Widener Library is the monumental heart of Harvard, surrounded by smaller, specialized libraries. These hidden repositories are tucked away within academic departments and research centers. The atmosphere is one of intense concentration, removed from digital distractions. They represent the specialized work that pushes the boundaries of human knowledge forward. Harvard's lifeblood is its rich tapestry of traditions. These traditions create a unique sense of belonging. These are the rituals and customs that create a unique and powerful sense of belonging. The shared experiences that bind students to each other and to the university's long and storied past. And they are an essential part of the institution's hidden culture. That takes place at midnight on the eve of final exams. For a few moments, the scholarly quiet is shattered by a collective wordless shout. Another, more clandestine tradition involves the exploration of the university's steam tunnels, a subterranean network that connects the campus buildings. A metaphor for discovering the unseen workings of a complex system. Boston Common, America's oldest public park, is a landscape dense with history, its well-trodden paths crossing over layers of the nation's past. While monuments like the Shaw Memorial command the attention of every visitor, the park holds other, more modest memorials. Their stories often overlooked, their significance known only to the most observant wanderer. These are the forgotten monuments, tucked away in quiet corners, their stone surfaces weathered by time and neglect. Their bronze surfaces bear green patina and worn reliefs. They stand as silent witnesses to lesser-known histories, to individuals and events that have faded from the collective memory. One such monument is the Ether Monument, a peculiar and ornate Victorian structure near the public garden entrance. Its complex allegorical figures tell a story of compassion and relief. Good Samaritan, carved in stone, gestures toward care and healing. A plaque explains the first public demonstration of ether as a surgical anesthetic. Few who pass by understand its profound significance. It is a memorial to an idea, a testament to the city's role in innovation and intellectual progress. Deeper within the park, one might stumble upon smaller plaques and markers, their inscriptions worn smooth by the elements. A small stone may mark the site of the Great Elm, a massive tree that stood for centuries, a silent witness to everything from revolutionary speeches to public hangings before it was felled by a storm. Another might commemorate a specific regiment from a forgotten conflict, its soldiers' names barely legible. To seek out these forgotten monuments is to engage in a form of historical archaeology. It requires a slowing of one's pace, a deliberate act of looking beyond the obvious. It is an invitation to question, to wonder about the lives and events these stones were meant to preserve. In a park that serves as a stage for the city's vibrant present, these quiet memorials provide a crucial link to its deep past. They remind us that the ground beneath our feet is sacred, not just for the famous events it has hosted, but for the countless unremembered moments it holds in trust. Beyond its role as a historic landmark and a civic gathering space, Boston Common is a living ecosystem, a complex web of life that thrives in the heart of the bustling city. To the casual observer, it is a landscape of lawns, trees, pond, but for those who look closer, a hidden world of surprising biodiversity reveals itself. This is the secret ecology of the Common, a testament to nature's resilience. The park is not just a green space. It is a functioning habitat supporting diverse flora and fauna. Grey squirrels, acrobatic and omnipresent. They are just one part of a larger community. Migratory birds use the Common as a vital stopover on the Atlantic flyway. Warblers, thrushes, finches, birdwatchers come in spring and fall to spot species you'd expect in wilder places. Central burying ground, a quiet corner and a micro-habitat. Old gravestones covered in lichen and moss. Insects and invertebrates shelter here. Undisturbed soil lets unique plants grow. A sanctuary within a sanctuary, decay and renewal proceed naturally. Frog Pond in summer, an ecological hub. Dragonflies, damselflies, aquatic insects. These insects feed resident birds. Plantings attract pollinators, bees, butterflies. This hidden ecology is a reminder that the natural world is not separate from our cities, but intricately woven into their very fabric. Every patch of ground as old as Boston Common accumulates a rich sediment of stories, myths, local legends. These tales aren't written on bronze plaques or in history books. They're passed down through oral tradition shared on walking tours whispered among locals. They form a shadow history of the park, a narrative of ghosts, eccentric characters, mysterious events adding a layer of intrigue and enchantment. These legends are the soul of the place, giving voice to its secrets and enduring mysteries. One persistent legend concerns the ghosts of the central burying ground. The spirits of those buried here still wander the headstones on misty nights, soldiers from the Revolutionary War, victims of epidemics. The most famous spectral resident, Charlotte Cushman, a 19th century actress whose spirit is said to roam near her family plot. Whether you believe in ghosts or not, these stories speak to our need to connect with those who came before, to feel their presence on this historic ground. Another lore thread: the Common as pasture for livestock, a practice that lasted nearly 2 centuries. Legends of stubborn cows, epic disputes between rival cattle owners, the town crier announcing the daily cow parade. These tales paint a different Boston, when agricultural rhythms met the growing city. They remind us the manicured park was once a working landscape and vital economic resource. Modern legends grow from the common's role in counterculture and protest. Stories from the 1960s, secret gatherings, famous musicians giving impromptu concerts, the park as a hub for the anti-war movement. These tales make the common a people's park, a democratic space for dissent. From ghostly apparitions to political protests, these legends, ancient and modern, enrich our understanding of the common, transforming it into a living, breathing place with a complex personality of its own. Here in western Massachusetts, a colossal landform rises from the Berkshires. This is Mount Greylock, the state's highest point. Its peak pierces the sky, offering a unique perspective. From base to summit, Greylock tells a story of geological resilience. The slopes are a mosaic of ecosystems. Familiar hardwoods give way to a darker realm. This is a boreal forest, a remnant of the last ice age. The spruce fir forest is a biological island. It is a fragile ecosystem, showcasing the influence of geography on life. For centuries, this mountain has been a source of inspiration. It captured the imagination of writers like Herman Melville. This peak is a cultural touchstone, reflecting the story of the land. While the Appalachian Trail draws hikers, the mountain holds secrets. Away from the main trail, a network of lesser-known paths weaves through hidden valleys. These are the paths known best to locals. Robinson's Point Trail rewards with vistas rivaling the summit. The Hopper Trail descends into a vast, bowl-shaped valley. Waterfalls cascade down rock faces. These hidden pathways are corridors for life, tracing ancient game trails. They offer a glimpse into the interconnected web of life that thrives here, a secret world waiting to be explored. To reach the summit of Mount Greylock is to arrive in a subarctic world, a place of harsh winds and profound history. At the very peak stands the Veterans War Memorial Tower. While many ascend its spiral staircase for the commanding views, few understand it is a beacon of remembrance. Surrounding the tower, the summit harbors a unique ecosystem, a fragile tundra-like environment. Here the trees are sculpted by the relentless wind into gnarled forms known as krumholtz. One of the summit's best-kept secrets lies just a short walk from the tower, Bascom Lodge. Built from local stone and timber, this historic structure offers rustic shelter to weary hikers. But perhaps the most profound secret of the summit is the silence that descends after the last car has driven down the mountain road. Far from the light pollution, the Milky Way arches across the sky. The summit of Greylock becomes an observatory, a place to contemplate the vastness of the cosmos. In Shelburne Falls, a utilitarian trolley bridge has been reborn. This is the Bridge of Flowers, a structure that has blossomed into one of the most unique and enchanting gardens in the world. Its story is one of community spirit and ecological ingenuity. The bridge's first life began in 1908, carrying passengers and freight. By 1928, the trolley company was bankrupt and the bridge was abandoned. Antoinette Burnham saw not decay but potential. She envisioned a garden suspended in mid-air. Her idea captured the imagination of the Shelburne Falls Women's Club. Volunteers hauled soil onto the concrete deck. They laid pathways, installed watering systems, and began planting. From the concrete of an industrial past, a living garden began to emerge. The Bridge of Flowers is a dynamic, ever-changing ribbon of life. Its design ensures there is always something in bloom from early spring until late autumn. Gardeners and volunteers work tirelessly, shaping the living tapestry. The performance begins in early spring with daffodils, tulips, and hyacinths. As summer arrives, the bridge explodes into a riot of color and scent. This is the garden at its peak, a sensory overload of breathtaking beauty. Even as autumn approaches, the palette shifts to the warm tones of the dying year. It is a final glorious flourish before the garden retreats into dormancy. The Bridge of Flowers exists in a deep relationship with the Deerfield River. Below, the river tumbles over rock formations known as the glacial potholes. These basins are a sight to behold, a reminder of nature's power. The bridge also serves as a vital link between the two halves of Shelburne Falls, drawing visitors to the town's charms. It is the heart of the community, a source of local pride. For local residents, the bridge is a part of daily life, from spring's first crocus to fall's last mum. Ultimately, the Bridge of Flowers represents the transformation of the mundane into the magnificent. It is possible to cultivate beauty in the most unexpected of places. In central Massachusetts lies the Quabbin Reservoir, one of the largest man-made water supplies in the world. Covering nearly 40 square miles, it quenches the thirst of Boston, 65 miles east. It has become a vast, protected wilderness, an accidental sanctuary for wildlife. Creating the Quabbin required immense engineering and profound sacrifice. 4 towns, Dana, Enfield, Greenwich, and Prescott, were erased from the map. Over 2,000 residents were displaced. The waters began to rise, drowning a way of life. Strict protection has created a wilderness unseen elsewhere in southern New England. The Quabbin is a vital piece of infrastructure and a memorial to the lost towns in its depths. Though the towns are gone, their memory endures, haunting the landscape that surrounds the reservoir. For those who know where to look, the ghosts of the swift river valley are everywhere. Old stone walls march out of the forest. Those same stone walls disappear beneath the water's surface. Close up, weathered stone and moss. Abandoned roads, now overgrown with grass and moss, wind their way through the woods. These roads abruptly end at the shoreline. Their pavement plunges into the dark, silent water. These are the last tangible remnants of a lost world. One of the most poignant viewpoints is at Quabbin Park Cemetery. Hundreds of graves were relocated from the valley before the flood. Here, headstones stand in silent rows. Close-ups of inscriptions tell the stories of the families who once called this valley home. It is a place of quiet contemplation, a link between the living landscape and the submerged history. From this vantage point, you can look out across the vast expanse of water. Picture the church steeples, the town commons, the bustling main streets. Preserved only in photographs and memories, the most dedicated explorers, armed with old maps and curiosity, seek out the foundations of former homes. Cellar holes and stone foundations hide deep within the protected watershed lands. These stone-lined depressions, often filled with fallen leaves, are all that remain. To stumble upon one is a moving experience. One can see the faint outline of a hearth, the remnants of a stone-lined well, or a gnarled ancient apple tree still producing fruit. It is in these quiet, forgotten corners that the human cost of the reservoir feels most palpable. The stories of the lost towns are kept alive by the Friends of the Quabbin. They maintain a small museum, and they lead tours, sharing the valley's stories. The last town meeting in Enfield, the final church service, and the sorrow of the families who had to leave. They speak of a vibrant, interconnected community, a world of farmers, mill workers, and shopkeepers. Their work ensures the people who lived here will not be completely forgotten. The towns themselves have been submerged by progress, but their memory endures. The departure of humanity from the swift river valley created an ecological vacuum. The 81,000 acres of protected land have become an important wildlife sanctuary. With limited human activity, the forests have matured and the ecosystem has rewilded itself. The reservoir is now home to a thriving population of bald eagles, successfully reintroduced in the 1980s. Beyond the eagles, the Quabbin's forests and waters support an incredible diversity of life. Moose have made a dramatic comeback, and black bears roam the deep woods. The Quabbin Reservoir has become an accidental paradise, where the ghosts of the past coexist with the vibrant wildlife of the present. Here on the coast of Ipswich lies the Crane Estate, shaped by human ambition. This tapestry of sculpted gardens, rolling hills and salt marshes stands as a monument to an industrial age fortune. It is a world where the wild and the cultivated blur. Richard T. Crane Jr. envisioned a summer retreat of unparalleled splendor. At its heart sits the great house, commanding views that stretch for miles. The Grand Alley descends from the terrace to the sea. Beyond this grandeur, the estate unfolds as a living ecosystem, a sanctuary where the design allows for the untamed to persist. It is in this balance of order and wildness that the magic of the Crane Estate resides. Beyond the impressive sweep of the Grand Alley hidden from the initial gaze, lie the estate's more intimate treasures. The Italian garden, a sunken, walled enclosure. Still air settles in the walls, roses perfuming the lanes, lavender swaying in the shade, water murmurs from ornate fountains, meticulously clipped hedges forming green corridors, quiet alcoves and bench niches, a pocket of Mediterranean warmth on the New England shore. Designed for quiet contemplation, a sanctuary within a sanctuary, symmetrical beds and topiary geometry, pergola draped in wisteria, reflecting pool mirroring the sky. Nature still asserts itself. Bees on blossoms, songbirds flitting among shrubs, season-to-season color shifts, spring to autumn, gardeners tending and pruning, sign, rose garden, a tucked-away jewel, wide riot of summer roses, antique heirloom roses close up, modern hybrid roses close up, climbers on garden arches, roses spilling from beds en masse, single rose macro, then sweeping bloom field. Pause, linger and breathe. Gardens as living historical documents. Mansion and garden juxtaposition. Gilded Age design, restoration work and gardeners preserving character. Pathway at sunset, walking through time. Reflecting pool at dusk. Quiet testament to enduring beauty. Leaving the manicured lawns and formal gardens behind, a different world entirely awaits. The Crane Estate is threaded with over 5 miles of trails, pathways that lead the explorer away from the architectural grandeur and deep into the wilder heart of the property. These are the veins of the estate, whispering woodlands, coastal dunes vital, breathing salt marshes. Here, the carefully constructed illusion of control gives way to the raw, unscripted drama of the natural world, where the rhythm of life is dictated by the sun and the tide. The trails offer a journey through a succession of diverse habitats. One moment, you are beneath a canopy of pine, beneath a canopy of oak, the forest floor dappled with sunlight and soft with fallen needles. The next, the path opens up to a breathtaking vista of the great marsh. The air changes, becoming briny and sharp. The sounds change, from the rustle of leaves to the cry of gulls and the distant sigh of the surf. It is a completely immersive experience, a reminder of the rich ecological tapestry that underpins the estate's beauty. These paths are not merely for recreation, they are corridors for life. White-tailed deer move silently through the undergrowth, their presence betrayed only by a snapped twig or a fleeting glimpse of white. Ospreys circle overhead, hawks circle overhead, countless shorebirds forage in the nutrient-rich mudflats revealed by the receding tide. To walk these trails is to be a quiet observer in a thriving community, a guest in a world that operates on principles far older and more profound than any human design. Following these hidden routes can lead to remarkable discoveries: a secluded viewpoint overlooking the Essex River, a quiet beach accessible only on foot, a path that winds through the protected dunes of Crane Beach. Each turn reveals a new perspective, a different facet of this complex landscape. This is where the true spirit of exploration takes hold, in the quiet moments of discovery, far from the crowds, where one can feel the ancient pulse of this remarkable stretch of the Massachusetts coast. At the very tip of Cape Cod, where the land finally surrenders to the Atlantic, lies a landscape of stark and mesmerizing beauty: the dunes of Provincetown. This is a place of constant motion, wind sculpting dunes, waves shaping edges, sand shifts like liquid swallowing and revealing never the same from one day to the next. A harsh and unforgiving environment, ocean's fury, sun's glare. And yet, nestled among these rolling sand hills, the most unlikely human habitats appear: the dune shacks. Not grand homes or comfortable cottages. Primitive, weathered structures, wooden boxes hunkered against the elements. Grown from the sand itself, salt-bleached timbers patched roofs blending into the dunes. No electricity, no running water. Life stripped to bare essentials. A deliberate retreat. A life in direct conversation with the elements. A testament to solitude and to a deep connection with nature. Since the 1920s, they've been a refuge for those wanting to escape, to think, to create. Scattered across Peaked Hill Bar's historic district inside Cape Cod National Seashore, reaching them requires a strenuous hike across shifting sands, a journey that filters for the determined. This isolation is their appeal. Only sounds: roar of the surf, cry of the gulls, whisper of wind scouring sand. The world reduced to sand, sea, sky. A landscape that empties the mind and forces a different awareness. The shacks, invitations to profound solitude, to measure your smallness against the ocean and the sky. This landscape has long exerted a powerful pull on the creative spirit. For nearly a century, the dune shacks have served as a sanctuary for artists, writers and thinkers. A place where distractions fall away, leaving space for inspiration. Playwrights like Eugene O'Neill and Tennessee Williams found solitude here. Painters were drawn by the extraordinary light. Artists like Jackson Pollock and Willem de Kooning came here. The shacks became their studios. Norman Mailer famously wrote from his shack. Jack Kerouac spent time here. The legacy of these creative giants still permeates the dunes. The shacks continue to host artist-in-residence programs. A new generation of creators comes here to live and work. The dunes remain a vital living muse. The mystique of the dune shacks is inseparable from their precariousness. Their continued existence is a constant battle against the very forces that make this landscape so compelling. Wind shapes the dunes. Wind is also a relentless threat. It scours away foundations. It buries structures in mountains of sand. Storms that lash the Cape can arrive with terrifying ferocity. Powerful waves crash in. Hurricane-force winds blow through. Those storms can dismantle wooden shelters in a matter of hours. To live here is to accept a profound impermanence. Conservation of these historic structures presents a unique challenge. The shacks sit within the Cape Cod National Seashore. Any repair or maintenance must be done with extreme care, often using only hand tools and materials carried across the dunes. There is a delicate balance, preserving cultural landmarks and upholding the wilderness principle to let nature take its course. This fragility is not just physical, but cultural. Provincetown's growth as a tourist destination has increased pressure on the landscape. The shacks represent a way of life at odds with the modern world, a commitment to simplicity and solitude that can seem anachronistic. Protecting them means protecting the buildings themselves and the idea they represent, the value of wild places, preserving spaces for quiet contemplation and artistic creation. Ultimately, the dune shacks endure as symbols of resilience. They testify to human adaptability and to finding beauty and meaning in harsh environments. They're a reminder, not in comfort and convenience, but in a direct, unmediated relationship with nature. Their fragile presence is a quiet victory, a whisper of human creativity and endurance against the roar of the Atlantic. Our journey through the hidden corners of Massachusetts comes to a close, but the spirit of discovery, of course, never ends. We have wandered along forgotten riverbanks, stood on secluded shores, and sought solace in landscapes sculpted by hand and carved by nature. From the quiet courtyards of academia to the wild, wind-swept dunes of the Outer Cape, we have seen that even in a place so rich in history, there are always new stories waiting to be found, new secrets to be uncovered by those willing to look beyond the well-trodden path. The true magic of a place like Massachusetts lies in its infinite layers. It is a landscape written and rewritten over centuries, a palimpsest of geological time, colonial history, industrial ambition, and artistic vision. The secrets we have shared are but a few chapters in a much larger story, a story that continues to unfold with every changing season and with every new explorer who sets out to find their own quiet corner of this remarkable state. The greatest discoveries are often not on any map, but are waiting at the end of an unmarked trail or in a conversation with a local. Now, the journey is yours to continue. We invite you to become part of this story of discovery. What hidden gems have you found in your own travels through the Bay State? Is there a secluded pond, a historic lane, or a quiet viewpoint that holds a special meaning for you? Share your own Massachusetts secrets in the comments below. Your knowledge can inspire another's adventure, adding another thread to this rich and wonderful tapestry. Let us build a community of explorers together. Thank you for joining us on this adventure, for looking closer and wandering further. The world is full of wonders, many of them hidden in plain sight, waiting for a curious mind and an open heart. We hope this journey has inspired you to seek them out, not just here, but wherever you may be. For more journeys to the heart of local culture and hidden landscapes, be sure to subscribe to our channel. Until our paths cross again, may your travels be filled with wonder and discovery.